These people are crazy. There's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them. They also want to go back, and they have already started that, to when you buy a faucet, no water comes out because they want to preserve. Even in areas that have so much water, you don't know what to do. It's called rain. It comes down from heaven.
Hello and welcome to What the Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it.
It's Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. Welcome to day 1449. A federal judge in Florida temporarily blocked the Justice Department from releasing special counsel Jack Smith's report on Trump's classified documents investigation. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon justified her order to preserve the status quo and to prevent irreparable harm, while the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals considers a motion from Trump's co-defendants, Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, who argued that the report's release would prejudice their cases. That filing came after Smith confirmed that he's working to finalize his reports for Attorney General Merrick Garland, outlining the results of his investigation into Trump's handling of classified documents after he left office, as well as his attempt to subvert the 2020 election. Garland previously said that he'd release the report publicly in some form. Cannon's injunction, however, follows a series of legal rulings limiting Smith's authority and dismissing charges against Trump in the case. Cannon, who was appointed by Trump, previously ruled that Smith's appointment was unconstitutional and said the Supreme Court's decision on presidential immunity further weakens the special counsel's cases. Meanwhile, a New York appeals court judge denied Trump's request to delay his Friday sentencing in the election interference case involving falsified business records, rejecting arguments that presidential immunity applies. Trump's lawyers argued that immunity protections for a sitting president should extend to the transition period as president-elect, but the trial judge and appellate court rejected that claim. While the trial judge suggested that Trump would likely face no jail time, he emphasized the importance of finalizing the case before Trump's inauguration. Trump was convicted in May of falsifying business records related to hush money payments made during the 2016 election. Moving on, Trump says he won't rule out using the U.S. military to seize the Panama Canal and Greenland, saying we need them for economic security. When a reporter asked if he could assure the public that he wouldn't use military or economic coercion to take control of the Panama Canal and Greenland, Trump replied,
"Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen."
At a different point during his hour-long news conference, Trump also once again asserted that Canada should be the 51st U.S. state, this time threatening to use economic force, and not military power, to pressure the country to join the United States.
Economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it.
Trump then floated the idea of renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which he said had a beautiful ring.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada, because Canada, they come through Canada too, and the drugs that are coming through are at record numbers.
He also pledged to make major pardons for those charged during the January 6th riot at the Capitol and said all hell will break out in the Middle East if Israeli hostages held by Hamas are not released by his inauguration. And finally, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg will end the third-party fact-checking program and will impact billions of users across Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Threads. In a video and accompanying blog post titled More Speech, Fewer Mistakes, Zuckerberg says Meta will shift to a user-driven community notes system because the company's fact-checkers have been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created. Zuckerberg did, however, acknowledge a trade-off and noted that more bad stuff will appear again on the platform as a result. He said, "We've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship," adding, "The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point toward once again prioritizing speech. So we are going to get back to our roots, focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms." Zuckerberg recently dined with Trump at Mar-a-Lago in November, and Meta later donated $1 million to support Trump's inauguration. After the January 6th attack on the Capitol, Facebook banned Trump's account, but eventually allowed him to return.
That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.